I wanted to let you know that this is a perfect time for you to learn more about the difference between your fearful fantasies and your true intuitions. It's always a good time to do that, of course, but even more so right now. We're living through an exciting turning point when the future is up for grabs. Worn-out old habits of thought are unraveling. Structures that have kept us enthralled to fake values are crumbling. The coming months and years will be ripe with opportunities for us to lay the foundation for a new world that is actually fit for the human soul. And in the midst of this grand mutation, it's predictable that so many so-called leaders are trying to fill up our imaginations with scary visions and angry emotions. They want us to buy into their visions that the sky is falling. In the face of their toxic paranoia, it's wise to remember that we always have the power to turn away from their fear-mongering and tune in instead to the guidance of the still, small voice within us. The still, small voice of intuition that will, if we allow it, lead us very capably through every twist and turn of our destiny, even when our destiny brings us right into the thick of our civilization's massive transformations. Knowing the difference between your fearful fantasies and your authentic, accurate intuitions is one of the greatest spiritual powers you can possibly have. So let's explore what that means. Knowing the difference between the frightening, alienating pictures that sometimes pop into your imagination, as opposed to the simple, warm, clear direction that is always available from the deepest source within you. Strangely enough, some people get these two things confused. They are especially prone to believe that the frightening, disempowering images that erupt in their mind's eye are coming from their intuition. For some people, if they get an image of a scary future possibility popping into their imagination, they worry that it's a prediction of some actual event that will occur in their lives. For instance, they may have a fantasy of themselves getting into an accident, or maybe they dream of losing a loved one, or maybe they internalize the toxic vision of some talking head on TV who slaps them upside the head with a prediction of imminent doom. When these people get images like those stuck in their imaginations, they may begin to obsess on the fear that these things are literally going to happen. Almost every time, scary fantasies like that are not coming from your true intuition. Our true intuition is just not very likely to be fueled by fear, and it rarely, if ever, motivates us to act by making us feel afraid. Our true intuition emerges from the wise, loving core of our being. Our true intuition blooms in us like a slow-motion fountain of warmth. Our true intuition reveals the objective truth about a person or a situation, and it does so with lucid compassion. It always shows us the big picture. Now, on the other hand, fearful fantasies burn and itch and make us feel like we're coming apart. Fearful fantasies drain our energy and cloud our judgment. Fearful fantasies fill us with obsessive urges to run and hide or do something desperate and melodramatic. Now, I don't mean to say that true intuition is always calm and emotionally neutral. It is not necessarily. But I will say this: the emotions that accompany true intuition are never alienating. The emotions that accompany true intuition don't make us feel superior to other people. They don't fill us with hatred and terror. They don't disempower us or make us feel helpless. True intuition may rouse our anger, but if it does, it's the kind of invigorating anger that leads to clarity and constructive action. And thus, it is an anger that ultimately relaxes us. True intuition may show us a difficult truth, but it always does so with a suggestion of how to deal gracefully and courageously with that difficult truth. True intuition may reveal imminent changes that could compel us to adjust our behavior, but it always does so in a way that empowers us. Let me emphasize this point. True intuition may not always reveal that everything will be fine or that we will be able to continue to live in the ways we have been living. True intuition is not falsely optimistic. But if it does alert us to circumstances that are in flux and how we will have to transform ourselves, it does so with love and poise and clarity, not with fear. Here's one more thing. Just as our true intuition never works by scaring the hell out of us, neither does it flatter us with grandiose suggestions about how superior we are. In fact, our true intuition may often gently inform us of some correction that should be made in our attitude. It may tactfully but firmly lead us to the understanding that we have been suffering from some form of ignorance and that we need to wake up and get smarter. True intuition reveals the story of our lives from our soul's point of view, not from our ego's point of view. In my understanding, true intuition is the voice of our own personal inner teacher, which just happens to be the divine part of us. The certainty that true intuition provides us is therefore not loud and puffed up, but rather is humble and graceful. This is a perfect moment to think on these things and to add some insights of your own. It's also an excellent time to flush away the fearful fantasies that may have seeped into your imagination, and thereby make it possible for you to hear your true intuition better. One way to facilitate this process, by the way, is to cut way back on the amount of terrifying and disorienting images that you allow to flow into your imagination from the TV, internet, newspapers, movies, and other mass media. In fact, I invite you to consider the possibility of going on a media fast for a while and spending more time in nature than you usually do. In conclusion, my beloved companions, at this exciting turning point on this beautiful and interesting planet, please get to work on seeing your fearful fantasies for what they really are and enhancing your connection to your true intuition.